What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today is going to be the first episode of a brand new series where I would like to discuss PlayStation slash Sony or gaming related news on a weekly basis. And this is obviously the first episode. I wanted to actually record the first episode last week, but I decided to delay it to this week since it's pretty much the start of a brand new month. So, right off the back, we have the PlayStation Plus games for the month of March, which are Sifu, the PS4 and the PS5 version, EA Sports F1 23, also PS4 and PS5 version. We have Hello Neighbor 2, PS4, PS5 version. And last but not least, Destiny, the Witch Queen DLC, PS4 and PS5 version. All will be available to download on March 5th, and I believe that goes all the way until Monday, April 1st. So make sure you download those, and also make sure you download the previous games from the month of February if you haven't been able to download those. Okay, so next up on the list, I want to talk about a list of PlayStation exclusives that are pretty much confirmed at this point to be releasing on PC, and that is none other than Ghost of Tsushima. Uh, it should get an announcement sometime this week, maybe Tuesday or something. This Tuesday, March 5th. I don't know. But the other games on the list are Horizon Forbidden West, like I said, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War Ragnarok, and eventually Spider-Man 2, because obviously Miles Morales and Spider-Man 1 released on PC after the initial release on console. So that is pretty good news. Of course, that will also boost the sales for these games even more, even though they already sold pretty well. I also forgot to mention that with this, with Ghost of Tsushima being ported to PC, there is a possibility, take this with a grain of salt, a possibility that we could get a Ghost of Tsushima 2 announcement sometime this year. Hopefully, like sometime within like the next like couple months or whatever, whenever the next state of play might be. Hopefully, we could get like a teaser, Ghost of Tsushima 2, because we already know that. I don't know why I keep forgetting the developers of Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch, because they made Infamous. We already know that Sucker Punch is working on the sequel at this point. Like, it's been some rumors, not really leaks, but some job listings and postings or whatever from. I was about to call him Naughty Dog, from Sucker Punch, that pretty much confirms that a Ghost of Tsushima 2 is in the making. Now, whether or not we'll actually get an announcement or even a teaser about it, that all depends on Sony primarily. Okay, now we want to talk about some of. I would include it as mine as well. A lot of people's favorite game, ongoing game right now, Helldivers 2. So apparently it's like a lot of leaks coming out about this game, because I guess apparently people have been data mining it, and apparently it's also extremely easy to data mine this game. And yeah, so it's like a lot of stuff has been coming out as to like what they'll be adding in the future, as far as like different things like vehicles, I think mechs, of course different armor pieces, customization, different rarity of loot. Okay, that definitely sounds interesting. I'm looking at it right now, so it's a lot on here. And apparently people have found the way to, I guess, look at like over 13,000 different lines of data strings or whatever. So that is quite interesting, but hopefully the developers will be able to like get a hold on that, so nothing crazy will happen, any like hacking or anything takes place, but that shouldn't occur. Now, with this piece of news, this is very unfortunate to um, hear about with the layoffs that's been occurring across the tech industry, especially in the video gaming industry. PlayStation is laying off 900 employees, give or take. And I believe they like completely closed down the London studio that was in charge of like different multiple VR games. And I believe in the US, companies like Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and I believe maybe a couple other studios have also been affected by this. And it says in the UK and European based studios, yeah, the London studio will close entirely, and there will be some reductions in Gorilla and Firesprite studios as well. This is very unfortunate. I think I heard something about like Jim Ryan visited the London PlayStation studio. Like, I don't know if they said like the day before or a few days before it got shut down, or he pretty much shut it down. Like, and he didn't even warn them, of course, that it was gonna happen. Like, I think he brought like some snacks and everything, and of course they was excited to see him. And then like the next day or whatever, like a bombshell like this happens. Like, you just lose your job like that after pretty much like the CEO just comes to visit your office. Like, that is horrible. This really resonates with me, given the fact that I work in the tech industry, or at least I used to work in the tech industry, and I would hear about a lot of layoffs and like in the different teams, internal teams that I had at my previous company, layoffs occurring, all this other stuff, acquisitions. So like, this is not new to me, and this is actually the reason why I never went into game development. Because back when I was in college, of course I had game development on my mind. I was like, yeah, I could go into game development, but like, it's not really like a stable career, because layoffs happen in that field left and right. Honestly, layoffs happen in the tech field left and right. So you just always got to be prepared and also have a backup plan, because you never know when stuff like this will happen. Uh, so it also says that the Fire Sprite Studio, the ones that are, I believe they have, yeah, they worked on some VR games like the Horizon Call of the Mountain VR 2 title that released. Apparently, I guess some Sony leaders or whatever wanted to bring a support studio, XDev, to help the Fire Sprite team, and apparently some stuff have been coming out about them. Uh, they've been accused of like sexual discrimination and ageism and other things, and Sony is just kind of like trying to dismiss these claims potentially. Uh, and it's just unfortunate. Like I said, 900 Sony Interactive Entertainment employees will unfortunately lose their jobs, which I guess they say is about like 8%, which I mean is still quite a lot. Uh, and I believe one live server, well, probably multiple, but at least one live service project that we know about, the Twisted Metal uh next entry that was supposed to be a live service game, has been canceled as a result of these job losses. And some of the employees have been writing reviews on like Glassdoor. Of course, I'm no stranger to Glassdoor, because I always look at different company reviews whenever I try and go apply for a job at the specific company or whatever. So they would describe horrendous studio heads who are way out of their depth and only care about money, which leads to a toxic bullying culture and a culture of fear. Well, with that statement, yes, like most companies out there only care about money. Because if they don't really care about money, unless it's like a non for profit or whatever, but even then they probably will get like sponsorships, stuff like that. But like most companies out there just care about money, because like if they really don't care about money, then they probably won't really stay in business for long. But then again, that all depends on the individual themselves. Uh, I would say in a situation like this, like you either just gonna have to bite the bullet and just stick with it, or just move on. Like it's sad to say, and it's unfortunate, especially when it comes to gaming, like where they just want to, like where they just care about money, and then you can tell that they only care about money because the quality of the game or the project that they're working on is pretty poor. And you can tell that they just did it as like a cash grab, but they just don't care and put in the time. Now, it's like a lot of small studios or like indie studios that are really killing it in the gaming industry compared to like large AAA studios where they've been working on a game for X amount of years and they probably put in a decent amount of time working on a project, but the quality is just not there. As opposed to a smaller indie dev where they probably got like 100, 200 employees, maybe even less than that, and they are putting out top notch projects. And they treat their employees a lot better than a lot of these major corporations out there. So you just really got to ponder like, are a lot of these AAA games that's $60, $70 really worth it? And when you look at like the track record of like the last few games that came out over the years, I would say like maybe less than 10 of those AAA games are actually good quality high tier games compared to smaller indie devs that don't even charge full price and are knocking it out the park when it comes to game sales or just the quality of the game in general. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be getting its long-awaited New Game Plus update this Thursday, I believe, March the 7th. And with that, it will be introducing I believe, a few new features like the ability to change the time of day, changing the tendrils on the symbiote costumes, a number of other probably bug fixes and whatnot. And I believe it's also releasing alongside, of course, different costumes and everything. But it's like this one little early access sort of like costume pack, suit for Miles and the suit for Peter. But it's more so like a charity pack or whatever. So it's like $5, and Sony says that 100% of the profits will go to I believe, a non-for-profit where they donate out to charity for low-income youth in various neighborhoods. So that is pretty good news so far. And I believe like the costumes will be available for free at a later date if you don't want to spend the $5. So I hope you all have enjoyed this week's PlayStation news, and if so, please don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe. It wasn't really too much news this past week. But like it pretty much varies week to week. Sometimes it's a little bit of news, sometimes it's a lot of news. So it was just one of those weeks where it wasn't really like too much news. I mean, of course, like the layoffs that occurred, that's pretty major news, of course. And like yeah, of course it was like a couple leaks, but not too much. So yeah, that's all the time I have for this video, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace out.